Good evening. Welcome to this evening's newscast for December 1st, 2020. I am Kevin Smith. Before we get to the news in detail, let's get to today's front page comment of the Kaieteur News. Laws, not platitudes. Mr. Bharat Jagdeo is trying to make us feel good about our own misfortune. He's patting us on our heads to make us feel satisfied and to try to calm our outrage over what we have been deprived of. Mr. Jagdeo is trying too hard to convince us that better will come under the present contract with Exxon. Having Exxon stop importing water will not counterbalance the lopsided contract which has been handed to us. It does not compensate us for the $55 billion which was left at the negotiating table. Instead of trying to appease us, Mr. Jagdeo should focus on ensuring that both Guyana and Exxon obtain a fair deal. We for our wealth and Exxon for their investment. As Mr. Jagdeo knows all too well, Guyana's petroleum laws are outdated. Laws ensure that obligations are met, and if not, then sanctions and penalties become operative. Laws create rights and duties. They therefore are fundamental to ensuring that each side gets that to which each is entitled. The priority which Mr. Jagdeo assigns to the creation of jobs and opportunities for local businesses would be best achieved through local content legislation rather than wishful thinking. We need laws, not platitudes. It is only when appropriate laws are in place will we be able to give effect to our just entitlements. When we enact right laws, we no longer have to rely on political promises or corporate goodwill. We will, through the right laws, create legally binding obligations, which will ensure that we obtain that to which we are entitled. And now for the news in detail. Ghana's energy sector is struggling to be financially sustainable, and it's mainly due to a gas project that the World Bank endorsed and helped to fund. Approved in 2015, the project was meant to lower the cost of electricity and make electricity services reliable. However, the project has created new problems for Ghana, as it has trapped the country in a deal which requires it to pay for a lot of gas that it has no uses. As a result of this provision, Ghana was billed $250 million for unused gas in 2019. Former Minister of Natural Resources, Raffle Trotman, pointed to the World Bank's role in three problematic hires made under the coalition government. All three hires raised serious questions about conflicts of interest, since they all worked with ExxonMobil, a supermajor which has an effective monopoly on Guyana's oil sector. And coming from Irving, Texas, ExxonMobil has completed a review of its forward business plans and will prioritize near-term capital spending on advantaged assets with the highest potential future value, including developments in Guyana and the U.S. Permian Basin, targeted exploration in Brazil, and chemical projects to grow high-value performance products. In other news, residents of Riverview, Rheinfeldt yesterday witnessed a bizarre scene with a boat captain who chopped a woman all because she denied him a relationship with her 14-year-old daughter and killed himself. The incident took place around 13 hours at Riverview, Rheinfeldt, not far from a police station. The dead boat captain has been identified as 52-year-old Jeffrey Narain of La Parfait Harmony, West Bank, Demerara. Hospitalized is 36-year-old Michelle Russell, who was reportedly chopped by the boat captain for not allowing him to be with her 14-year-old daughter. Upon seeing the uniformed ranks, Narain reportedly pulled out a knife and stabbed himself to the neck. He was pronounced dead at the scene by a doctor. In other news, following the announcement by ExxonMobil and its partners that the discovery at the Tanagar-1 well in the Kaieteur block is non-commercial, the companies informed the market that the well would be plugged and abandoned. Since making this disclosure, however, industry stakeholders have expressed concerns about what protection Guyana has in place to ensure the millions of US dollars incurred to drill and not plug the well would not be billed against the profits being made in the Stabroek block. Vice President Dr. Bharat Jagdeo was contacted on the matter, as he is tasked with an oversight role for the oil industry. The Vice President was quick to note that if ExxonMobil were to engage in such an act, it would be criminal. Let's tell you now that farmers nationwide are experiencing severe difficulties in preparation for the first rice crop of 2021. Farmers are struggling to source high-quality seed paddy since the most prominently produced variety, called GRDB10, is not germinating properly or, in some cases, not at all. Dharam Kumar Siraj, who is part of the Ghana Rice Producers Association, said that he is aware of the challenges, while adding that the association is in the process of doing its own information gathering with the hope of helping those in dire need. Let's tell you now that a son has admitted to robbery but denies killing his mother. He was remanded yesterday for the brutal murdering of his own mother during the furtherance of a robbery. Prior to his court appearance, 32-year-old Devon Anderson reportedly admitted to the robbery but denied killing his 62-year-old mother, Jennifer Anderson. Devon implicated other suspects in the crime after he told police that he did not act alone. As investigations continued, he appeared at the Vredenhoop Magistrates Court, where he was charged with the offense by Principal Magistrate Faith McGusty. He was not required to plead to the indictable charge and is expected to make his next court appearance on January 14, 2021. In other news, a critical power cable across the Demerara River that links the East and West Demerara areas has been severed yet again. GPL yesterday said that it is working to get the submarine cable fixed. A statement said that on Friday, at approximately 7 hours 8, there was a fault on the 609 kV submarine cable linking Vredenhoop and Kingston power plants, resulting from suspected damage from a ship's anchor. This is not the first time it has happened, causing the East Demerara area to be without the extra power produced by Vredenhoop for weeks. And now let's tell you the government of Ghana has issued the COVID-19 emergency measures for December with new guidelines to travel to Region 7 and to Suriname. The curfew remains the same for December with lockdown hours from 10:30 p.m. to 4 a.m. Non-essential travel into and out of Region 7 is restricted from December 1st to December 31st. Travel will only be permitted where it is connected to an essential service. And that brings us to the end of this evening's newscast. I am Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening. Coming up next is the National Outlook with GHK Lal.